Hi there, thanks for joining me today. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to make this triangle card. Now this does fold flat and it is measured out to be 5 by 7. This card does have Velcro to fasten it so it stays open. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need is a piece of paper that is 10 by 7. And we're going to turn this back on the 10-inch side. And we're going to score this. Now you want to score this right in the middle at 5 inches. And then you're going to turn the paper again. And we're going to make just a small pencil mark on the 3.5 inch side on both the top and the bottom. Once that is marked, we're going to go ahead and we are going to do some diagonal scoring. So I'm going to line it up with that line I have on my scoreboard. I'm going to line up that middle point to the center of the card that I just made, and I'm going to make the diagonal score. And now we're going to do this on all 4 sides. I'm just going to turn it again. I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to score. Just make sure these are really even. So I'll finish this last one. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this. We're going to fold it in half first. Just make sure it's all lined up and then crease out that center. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold all of our diagonals and we're just going to fold them inward. And again, just make sure that these are creased and you're going to fold them inward. I'm going to do this last one. Again, crease it. And then it should just fold on itself, and this is what you're going to end up with. Okay, and this is what you should end up with. So we're going to fold this flat and we're going to set it aside because we're going to cut some layers. We're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 7/8 inches by 4 7/8 inches. And again, you're going to need 2 of those. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just flipping this over so you can see it. So we're going to make one mark at 3 3/8 inches. Okay, so you can either cut this with a trimmer, you can cut it with a ruler, you can draw a line. I'm going to draw a line just so you can see where we're going to cut. So we're going to cut from that 3 3/8 inch mark I made down to the corner of the paper. Again, you can use your ruler and a knife and cut this out, or you can use a trimmer, or you can even use scissors once you draw your line. Okay, so I'm going to use the trimmer. So I'm going to set this again. I'm going to cut it at a diagonal cut from the point I made down to the corner. And just making sure it's lined up. And then we're going to cut it, and then we're going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it again. And you're going to want to do this on both pieces of paper. This one I did not draw the lines on, but I did mark it so that I had my guide. So again, now I did not draw a line on this one because I just used my mark because I knew what I was cutting from the corner to the corner. So that's all the cuts you're going to need. So let's move the trimmer, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these down. Now you could do another layer and cut these down by 1/8 of an inch on each side, but I like the red showing through, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these down. Now that we have our layers glued down, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our Velcro. Now, as you can see in this one I already made, the Velcro is on the inside top and then on the bottom. You can see those two. So we're going to glue in the same basic areas. So on the inside and then right here. Now I'm just using a basic 1-inch Velcro dot They are pre-glued, but I'm going to add some glue to them anyway just to give them a little extra strength. So I'm going to place one in the corner here. And then we're going to glue one more in the opposite corner right here on the top part of the card. That's just to give it some extra strength. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to actually add the bottom piece of it to here just so I can line it up. Okay, so put that there. And then I'm going to close this if I can get this off my finger, okay? So now I'm going to turn this card just so you can see a little better. So we want to line this up to where this is going to fold in. And it's going to line it up with the edge of the card. So I'm going to put some glue on these first, again, just to make sure they secure. And I'm going to go ahead and secure the first one. And I want to line this up with the edge of the card. So you want to line it up and then just kind of squeeze that to get it started. Make sure it's lined up with the top. And then I'm going to turn the card. And again, I'm going to line it up with the edge of the card and it will be on the top. I'm going to squeeze that just for a second and I'm going to flip this. I'm going to put something under here so you can see. Now we're going to decorate it. So I have this little Minnie Mouse and I want to put her here. Now you have to be careful that you don't put her in the wrong position because you want to make sure she doesn't extend the top of the card because the card at the diamond, top of the diamond is 5 inches. I also have this Hi Cutie sign that I made that we're going to put on here. Now I'm going to do it in 2 layers. I'm just going to glue this down. I decided to put the sentiment on an oval just to give a contrast to the triangle shape. So I'm just going to glue this to another oval that I made in the dark burgundy color. And I'm just going to offset it just a little bit just so that it gives it some dimension. Okay, I also think I'm going to add some pop dots to it just to give it even more dimension. So let me grab some really quick. And I also want to make sure these line up so they don't stick over the edge. So I'm going to put one on and just kind of line it up and see where we want it. Okay, now on this, I'm going to use a wobbler. If you haven't used them, they're pretty fun. They just make your image wobble. Now when you stick this down, there really is no way that you can do it. Sometimes people will stick it with the lighter side on the embellishment or the heavier side. It's up to you. If you do the heavier side, your character or whatever you're putting on there will wobble more. So, but I also want to make sure her feet don't stick out. So I'm going to take off the sticky part on one side. I use my poker just to peel it off. And now I'm going to stick this piece onto Minnie. And I'm going to stick it right in the center of her. Right about there. And then I can push that down. Now when you also push this down, you got to make sure because there is a little nub in there and it will push through onto your embellishment that you're using if you push too hard. So now I'm going to stick Minnie Mouse on the card. And again, I want to make sure I'm going to move this. I want to make sure that her feet aren't sticking over the edge because that's the end of my card. So I'm going to line her up and then I'm going to push on the wobbler. And there you go. Yeah, she wobbles pretty good. Okay, now just to make sure she is really in there, I don't again want to push on her because I don't want to put that mark on her. I'm going to use my bone folder and secure her. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back up on here just so she's at an angle so you can see it. So she is wobbling pretty good. She's a little off. Maybe I should have put it a little bit higher, but she's fine. So now I'm going to put this sentiment on here. I'm going to take off the glue dots. And again, I'm just going to line it up so it just sits right next to her. Right about there. Again, you can have more things coming out of this card as long as you don't go over the point of the triangle and then the sides of the card. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some embellishments. And these are just some glitter, shimmer glitter stuff that I have. And I'm just going to add some to the white areas on just a couple of dots. You could embellish this with some pearls or anything that you want. So let's just do a couple more. Let me grab that punch again so I have some weight behind there because it's kind of hard to hold on to. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple of these. I don't want to do too many of them because I just want to add some shine to it when it hits the light. I'll probably just do one more right here. That'll be good. Yep. Oh, missed a little spot. I'll just do one more. That's good. I think I'm going to also get some more glitter. Okay, I'm going to also add some sparkle here. I just want to add just a little bit more embellishment to it. So I'm just going to add 3 little dots on each side. Okay, I like the way that turned out. That looks good. Just those extra little dots. So there you have it. This is the card we made today. I appreciate you watching. I hope you had fun making this card. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and see you next time. Bye-bye.